Bennett.
All right, I'll call this meeting Executive Committee to order. Aaron, call the roll.
Thanks. I'm going to just note that as permitted by the governor's disaster declaration dated Friday, February 3rd, the determination has been made that the in-person meeting is not practical or prudent to this board. Materials were posted 1 week in advance and the recording will be posted to our website. So roll call, Mayor Bennett.
Present.
Paul Goodrich.
Present.
Mayor Noak.
Here.
Carolyn Schofield.
Here.
Ann Sheehan.
Here.
Diane Williams.
Present.
The motion carries. Next item is the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So move, Sheehan.
Second, Noak.
Moved and seconded. Questions? Aaron, call the roll.
Mayor Bennett.
Aye.
Paul Goodrich.
Yes.
Mayor Noak.
Aye.
Carolyn Schofield.
Yes.
Ann Sheehan.
Yes.
Diane Williams.
As I was not here, I would abstain.
Yeah, the motion carries, and the chair will recognize that that motion should have been for both the November and the December meetings. So please note for the record that the motion was for both of them.
Then I can actually say yes to December, but I can't say yes to November.
Sounds good.
You're on the record on the abstention.
Okay, thanks.
Financial statements, you have the monthly revenue and expenditures for September, right? September?
Yeah. September, October, and November, because we pushed the.
Oh, you did break them out. I'm sorry. Okay. I'll entertain a motion that we approve both all the three, the September, October, and November monthly revenue and expenditures. Is there a motion?
So moved, Noak.
Second, Diane.
Moved and seconded. Aaron, call the roll.
Mayor.
Aye.
Paul Goodrich.
Yes.
Mayor Noak.
Aye.
Carolyn Schofield.
Yes.
Ann Sheehan.
Yes.
And Diane Williams.
Yes.
And the motion carries. Thank you. The main purpose of this is the brief presentation on the financial audit for our next fiscal year. And we have a representative from SCIT. Are they here or on the call?
Yes, Martha's here. I don't know, Peter, did you want to say anything in advance of Martha?
Sure. So first of all, good morning again, everyone. So as we do every year, we've invited SICKage to kind of come give a brief presentation of, the financial statement and single audit that was just completed. Again, if any issues were to arise, and again, if Martha will kind of allude to this, they would have been brought to the board's attention earlier rather than later. Again, this is just a step before we get full board approval. We bring it to the Finance Executive Committee to kind of touch on, how the audit went and if there were any bigger findings that came out of it. So with that, I'll turn it over to Martha from SICKage.
Martha, welcome.
Thank you. Let me share my screen if that's possible. That will assist with reviewing the financial statements. Thank you for having me here this morning. So as Peter mentioned, I'll be briefly reviewing the results of the annual financial statement audit for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2022. We've issued at this time 2 reports, the annual financial report and single audit report, as well as the board communication, which have been provided to you. In the annual financial report, this is where you'll find the independent auditor's report. So that is where you will find our opinion on the audited financial statements. We've conducted our audit in accordance with auditing standards generally accepted in the United States, as well as governmental auditing standards. And the reason for the additional compliance requirements with the government auditing standards is due to the level of grant activity of the agency. So there are some additional compliance testing procedures that are completed alongside the financial statement audit. I am pleased to be able to present a clean, unmodified opinion on the agency's financial statements. That is the highest level of assurance that we can issue. So we're able to provide an opinion to let you know that the financial statements that you have in front of you are able to be relied upon based on the procedures and testing that we conducted in accordance with those auditing standards that I mentioned. In the annual financial report, there is one section I would like to highlight that we always advise all of our clients to pay particularly close attention to. This is a great section of the report. This is actually prepared by agencies management, and it's called the Management Discussion and Analysis. It is following the independent auditor's report, and it provides an executive summary of the agency's activities for the fiscal year, as well as providing some graphical and comparative analysis to the two prior years. So there's a little bit more context and information in this management discussion and analysis section than you'll find in that will assist in reviewing the balances in the basic financial statements themselves. So I would always recommend that if you read nothing else in the annual financial report, this is a great, pretty brief section that summarizes and highlights the changes in activities for in the fiscal year and in the basic financial statements. Briefly to just let you know, the basic financial statements begin on page 5, and in the statement of net position provides the agency's net position for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2022, as well as the prior fiscal year for comparison purposes. So as you'll see, net position for the fiscal year ended at just over 7 million, an increase over the prior year net position of 6.1 million. And you'll see the results of the revenues, expenses, and other income items on the following page, the statement of revenue, expenses, and changes in net position. So you'll see that what resulted in that increase to net position of 922,786 following fiscal year 2021's increase of 3.8 million. So that's kind of a summary of the basic financial statements, and I'll just quickly jump to the single audit section, which is following the annual financial report, but within the same document. This year, there were 2 major programs that were tested for compliance purposes, just based on the level of activity for the 2 programs that were tested. So that is presented here on the schedule of expenditures of federal awards, the 2 U.S. Department of Transportation programs that were tested as major programs, which required a bit more compliance and in-depth testing of those 2, and to verify compliance with the grant agreements and contracts. Based on our testing for the single audit, we found we had no findings to report and required no corrective action plan for the agency. So once again, in addition to the unmodified opinion on the financial statements, we're able to issue an opinion with no findings on the single audit for the major programs that were tested. And that's noted similarly in the board communication, which is the second report that has been issued, the smaller report of the 2, where we communicate certain required communications to the board and to those charged with management. And as Peter highlighted, and just I would like to reiterate, there were no issues or disagreements that arose during the completion of the audit. The team was able to provide us with all of the information and all of the requests that we asked for in order to complete our testing and our procedures without any issue and without any hesitation. So we would like to thank the finance team for all of their assistance in this process. It's a pretty inherently cumbersome and burdensome process, and adds to on top of the day-to-day operations. So there's quite a bit of information that we request for the audit, but I do want to extend our appreciation for all the assistance that was provided to us and for the willingness to answer questions and take time for meetings and to help us understand and ensure that we're able to complete our testing according to our auditing standards and issue these opinions and have no disagreements along the way. So any questions at this time?
Martha, just to say thank you, and as you have just indicated, thank you to the staff. You know, we've been through as mayors, we go through local audits, but and we know what a pain it is for the staff. The details required by the auditors, questions every about 10 minutes, right, Aaron? So we know, you know, I certainly know how that goes. But more importantly, as we've said over the years, with this agency, because there's so many different there's so many different revenue streams coming from, especially government agencies, especially the Fed, and I know how detailed they are in requirements. for an audit. So again, thanks to the staff for also your cooperation and work. And the budget looks great, or the audit looks great. Other questions? Again, there's no action required on this. This will go before the full board at our next meeting. Erin?
I also just wanted to echo thanks to Martha and the Sickich team, but also to Peter. This is his first time going through the audit with us. And I think he and his team just did an amazing job, especially because they were doing two single audits testing as opposed to just the historic one. So it was new and amplified.
There was more.
New
Yeah,
and
believe me,
more.
the single Fed audit is enough to drive you crazy alone, let alone the general one. So we've been there, done it. So thank you.
No, so
Any other
thank you.
questions or comments on the audit? Again, there's no vote required on this. Martha, thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Any other business before the board? No questions? All right, great. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, no.
No public comment either. Move no.
I'm sorry.
Second. No,
Second
that's
sheet.
okay.
Call roll.
Mayor Bennett,
Aye.
Paul Goodrich,
Aye.
Aaron Oak,
Aye.
Carolyn Schofield,
Yes.
Ann Sheehan,
Aye.
and Diane Williams.
And the motion carries. Again, thanks, everybody. Enjoy the beautiful winter weather we're having, and we'll see you all next month. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.